Are back on midday now with your weekly installment of News to You. A stunning announcement from one of Buffalo's most revered sports icons. And would you believe it's been 20 years since the box office opening of a Disney animated film that went on to become the top-selling DVD of all time? Dave McKinley has our weekly look back to when those stories and more were all news to you.
10 years ago this week, we were expecting to hear a bunch of jocular stories from glory days past at an event normally marked by frivolity. What we got instead was an announcement that stunned Western New Yorkers and football fans worldwide.
Never thought that I would be saying the word cancer, that I would have it.
Over the course of the following months, the words Kelly Tough took on a new meaning entirely. And thankfully, Jim is still with us 10 years after that bombshell was dropped this week in 2013. 20 years ago this week.
I'm sorry, but we have to make adjustments.
The city of Buffalo's finances were so messed up that drastic action was taken.
We are making a recommendation today that is fairly dramatic.
This week's News to You pop quiz, what unprecedented step was announced in order to right the city's foundering financial ship this week in 2003? It was the same week one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives, Olympic Park bomber Eric Rudolph, was captured, and when the long arm of the law also caught up with Martha Stewart, who was indicted for securities fraud and later sent to prison. Air France conducted its final flight of the Concorde. The Buffalo Diocese announced it would be closing Turner Carroll High School, and believe it or not, it's been 20 years since Finding Nemo opened at theaters nationwide this week in 2003. 30 years ago this week, if you're old enough to remember using the card catalog at the library, or when newspapers contained pages and pages of classified ads, or when the outdoor concert venue at Darien Lake was still under construction, you might also remember the controversy that erupted when Sabres goalie Grant Fuhr was turned down for membership at Transit Valley Country Club. He suspected it was because he was black. The country club blamed it on a misunderstanding with his application. Fuhr wasn't buying it and joined Fox Valley instead, and then issued a statement when certain groups started threatening members at Transit Valley, asking them to knock it off. Bill Clinton's first Memorial Day as president did not go smoothly. He was lustily booed by veterans who turned their backs on him when he came to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial.
25 years ago, as a college student, Clinton ducked the draft, criticized the military, protested the war overseas in Britain.
He's a draft evader, draft dodger, whatever. He's got no business here.
To have the label of draft dodger placed on the commander-in-chief of the armed forces was unusual at the time, but Clinton would be just the first. In fact, with the exception of Barack Obama, who would have been too young to serve, every president since Clinton, including the current occupant of the White House, exercised all manner of deferments to avoid serving in Vietnam. Thus, a controversy once so thorny might now not be as such since the days when it was all news to you.
So are you ready, Patrick? Here's the answer.
I don't know this one.
I think I would have gotten this one if I hadn't read the script ahead of time. So this week's News to You pop quiz was about the unprecedented step taken 20 years ago this week to get the city of Buffalo's finances in order. It was announced. Do you have a guess, Patrick?
I really have no idea.
That's okay. So here's the answer. That the city spending would be placed under the authority of a control board. This was when the control board happened. 2 decades later, the control board is still in place, but today it's defined as a passive control board and only exists as an advisory group. So there you go.
So, to get things paid for, you got to go to an extra step to get approval?
They needed more oversight because it got so bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.